concept of getting rich is something that so many people on the internet talk about, but it's something which so many people out there simply still don't understand. And for many, it still feels impossible despite many methods being taught on the internet. Let's talk a little bit about why this may be and how we can escape this cycle. Now, we'll start off with the first bottleneck and the thing stopping most people from ever becoming rich and why it seems so impossible. It's due to a lack of education. If you're out there not knowing anything, it's very, very hard to become rich because you don't have any education as to how it's done. Now, at this point, some of you may be screaming there, I have a degree, I know about business, I have a business degree. Well, I have to tell you guys, so do I. I'm a business student. And in the 2 years that I've been studying my degree, I've not learned anything that's helped me with my personal businesses. Everything I have learned that has actually made me money has been by my own knowledge and through the computer behind me. Not much at all, if anything, has helped me from the business degree. It is great for getting you into an office position, but most office positions aren't going to get you rich, especially if you've not come from a great university to begin with. So the education element is something holding most people back. So what does a true rich education look like? It does involve learning things that most people don't know about. It does involve doing things that most people don't want to do. It is something which I want to look into more on the channel and talk about more on the channel, but it involves doing different ideas and learning about different ideas that most people would never be able to understand. Let me tell you about a few of my concepts I've been trying in the past couple of months. I've started an online blog that's powered by AI. I've started this YouTube channel. I've been reselling stuff on all sorts of platforms and made my own shop. I've tried day trading and investing, and that is all just in the past, 6 or 7 weeks alone. I've tried dozens of business ideas this year, and this is what it takes. It does take a level of dedication and learning and trial and error that most people don't want to go through. Unfortunately, there are going to be more failures than successes when you're beginning, but this is not necessarily a bad thing, as there's no such thing as an outright failure. All you'll face is a learning experience, and everything is valuable in the long run. So it does require doing a proper extensive education as to how things truly work, not on a basic level like what's taught in a degree, on a thorough level as to how business and business management runs, because that is ultimately what's going to get you rich, and you have to become a professional at what you do and get your systems really, really smooth. The next thing is that most people don't really have the ball moving to begin with. So what does rich actually classify as? It's a tough question, but let's say 1 million is rich, okay? That's pretty much a standard figure. It's not really that rich in today's society and economy, but let's say it is for the benefit of just talking about it. So if you have only £100 in your bank and you're living from paycheck to paycheck, how on earth do you ever make £1 million? It seems unbelievable. It seems unimaginable. How do you ever do that? But this becomes increasingly easy as you get more and more money. I know it's a big cliche, but it is true, and I'm going to talk about my experience quickly. So from going from £100 to £1,000 was actually really easy, because that's not really that much money if we're being honest. You can save that up by working if you're careful, or run a business that's going to make you that quite quickly. So that was quite an easy goal to get to. But even then it seemed hard to get to 100,000. But from that 1,000, I then was able to get to 10,000 quite quickly due to A, more investment opportunities because of the amount of money that I had, and B, more expertise. Like, to make 10,000, all you likely have to do is do what you just did 10 times. And now that I'm at 10,000 and above, it's really seeming quite easy to get to 100k. Like, from 10k, what can I do? I can buy different businesses, I can invest in different companies and stocks, I can continue what I'm already doing, and all of the things previously mentioned combined. This is going to make it really easy to get from that 10 to 100k mark just by doing what I've already done and by expanding on the new opportunities that I've been presented with. But tone that back down to 100, right? If you've only got £100, you need to then get to £1,000. And once you've got to £1,000, you're still 100 times away from £100,000. And obviously 1 million, significantly more than that. But imagine when you get to 10,000. Now you're only 10x away from 100,000. You just need to do what you just did 10 times. Then when you get to 100,000, you just need to do what you did to get to 1 million 10 times, and so on and so on. It's not that hard when you zoom out and look at it that way. But when you're starting off with barely anything to begin with, how do you get to that step in the first place? I would say to get to £1,000 to £5,000, that can easily be saved in a couple of months. If you can't save that much, you'll have to make an additional stream of income. But once you get the ball rolling, you see how easy things can be, how processes can be made more efficient, how business lines and opportunities can be opened up, and how your income streams can improve and diversify. This will help you to stand economic turmoil, as well as make more and more money from your different business channels that you can have. But these are the obvious things, right? Increase your income, learn about how businesses work. But one of the biggest things that you have to do, and one of the most crucial things, is not to learn anything, but to unlearn a lot of stuff. This sounds really stupid, but let me explain why it makes perfect sense. From school, we're told about jobs and how we must get into the workforce. It's something that works for many people, but this is a thing. The workforce and jobs, for the most part, don't make people rich, don't make people millionaires, and don't make people financially free. So what do? You must unlearn this concept then, because a job is only something to get you to the next step, to get you to the next month, to hopefully get you to save up a couple of £1,000s and start your business. But realistically, it's not something that's going to get you that freedom that you want. So you have to unlearn a lot of concepts. Saving isn't really something that I personally do because I don't see the point of it. I can talk about how I could cut back my costs by a couple of £100, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't want to do that. Why should I save money? It seems to be a bit of a meager concept, because instead of saving a couple of £100, I could just make a couple of £100 more and afford my lifestyle more easily. This is something that I've had to unlearn as we're told about saving and why that's good for us, when in actuality what's better than that is increasing your income stream. Another thing that we need to consider is risk, because we're told about how starting a business is risky, and to a degree it is, but this is also overplayed in my opinion to a lot of people. Let's say you wanted to start a reselling business like something that I did a couple of months ago. What do you need to do to start this? Maybe you need to get £100 together, go to a thrift shop, buy some clothes, and then list it online. And even if you were to fail, you have a job and you just spent £100 on a couple of items. That's not really a lot to risk for the potential upside. Same thing for a lot of things. The risk is really overplayed, and this is where people get kind of over their heads in worry. Oh, I could do this, but it's super risky. No, it's not. I'm not saying business comes without any risk, and some businesses are inherently more dangerous than others. But a business that you can start with little to no money and make potential infinite upside, how are you going to tell me about a risk? The only thing that you've got to lose in that case is your time, which you're probably wasting on YouTube anyway. And speaking about time, let's talk about time management, because most people have this part completely wrong as well. What are you doing with your time? Are you spending it on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, or are you taking every moment as seriously as you should be? Because if you're not doing that, if you're not working as much as you could be to maximize your potential profit and income, you are not fully utilizing your opportunity to get rich. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have fun. I'm a big enthusiast of having a couple of days off, which is why I've not been filming videos for a couple of days. But with that being said, the minute that I wanted to come back to filming videos, I filmed 3 videos tonight. I'm going to be filming about 6 videos tomorrow. Everything is going to be set up so it's very efficient. This way I can best use my time to manage my YouTube channel alongside spending the rest of my time running my businesses. This makes things more efficient, allowing me to make more potential money and allowing me to get better things and better results from my time spent invested. You see how this affects my business? You see how this affects my potential? If I only spent an hour filming this YouTube video, it might get half as many views, it might get half as much watch time, it might delay my journey to getting 1,000 subscribers, to getting my channel monetized. That would be a negative impact on my business and my personal income. So you see what I'm saying here? If you're wasting time, that's one of the things keeping you poor. I've always said it. A lot of my friends say, when are you going to rest? When are you going to have some time down? I say to them, I'm going to be having the best downtime when I'm sat on a yacht. I don't really care about sitting in bed and watching YouTube. It's fun, but it's a basic level amount of fun. I'd rather sit and watch YouTube when I know that all of the bills will be paid from not much work. You see what I mean here? You can get the ball rolling very easily, and from there it seems even more easy to build more and more streams of income, because it is. But when you're in that beginning step, you've got a lot to learn. You're going to have a lot of failures. You're going to have a lot of hard times and a lot of naysayers. Are you prepared to deal with that? Because if you're not, you must ask whether starting a business is something that you truly wish to see in the first place. With that being said, it's time to end this video. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully this was a little bit of inspiration for you guys. If you are like me and want to see yourself succeed, I would appreciate it if you will join us on this journey by subscribing to the channel and liking the video. With that being said, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in our next one. See you soon.